Okay, guys, I have not done a YouTube video in a really long time where it just concerns my stroke. So, I am going to share my page on a support group, and I wanted to have a current video to go along with my older videos. So, it's been since my honeymoon, which was 2.5 years ago, since I've done a video. I was just gone on my first big trip post-stroke. So that's what makes this video even more special, because on December 24th, I celebrated my 5th stroke anniversary. Well, I didn't celebrate, I didn't do anything. But I spent all of 2017, except for maybe the first couple months, traveling. I traveled with my husband to the East Coast. I traveled with just my 16-year-old to Texas to go house hunting for my oldest daughter. So we stayed with her, but I traveled to the airport with just the 16-year-old, and that was an accomplishment. Like I said, I went to the East Coast, DC for the first time, New York for the first time, got to see a Broadway show. I didn't take any cruises in 2017. I have 2 cruises this year alone. Not alone, like by myself. Just 2 this year. We're doing a Hawaii cruise. It's a 5-day cruise. Okay, physical updates. I still don't have any isolated movement on my upper limb, so I can lift the arm like I have been for a really long time. And as you guys see, the fingers are pretty loose today. That happens sometimes. Sometimes I just wake up and they're a little bit more loose than normal. But 5 years, this is a new normal. I mean, usually they're a little tighter than this, but not. Now I have full range of motion in my upper limb. Assisted passive movement I can do. So that is all I have for that. But I walk with my AFO still. I use the cane outside the house. Around the house, I just use my shoes and my AFO, and I'm good. I'm not wearing my shoes and my AFO, I use a quad cane. Outside, I use a single point cane. I drive. I pick my daughter up from the bus stop. I go to all her games. She's a bowler on her high school team. So I go to all the games. I go to the casino. I drive to the casinos. I find my way to the bowling alley. I'm good. Now, my youngest son, who just turned 5, has been in preschool since the beginning of the school year this last year, because he was staying home with me, and I felt like he needed the opportunity to learn how to socialize with children his own age. He starts kindergarten next year. That's an important task. Now, for those of you who read, and your library should have the book to check out, Healing the Broken Brain by David Dow and Mike Dow. Is a stroke survivor and his brother, who is a neuroscientist, I think is his title. But I recommend this book to everybody, because the techniques in there it just came out last year, like springtime. I bought it. I haven't finished it because I've really been trying to absorb it and live it, and then continue to read it as I see the positive changes. So the one thing that Dr. Mike Dow mentions is that every time we go someplace new, unfamiliar, every time we learn a new skill, a new language, pretty much step outside our comfort zone, we are building new pathways, which we all know as stroke survivors are so important. New pathways is the way that we recover, because our brain needs to rewire, build new pathways on how to do things that our body used to be able to do. So this started my 2017. Granted, I don't do New Year's resolutions. I believe people make them to break them, so I don't do it. I can't remember the last time I made a New Year's resolution. So I just don't do it. But I got this book in April and I read that. And I was like, that means this is the year of yes. So I said yes to joining my husband on a week, 4-day trip to DC, which he's asked me to go on work trips with him in the past. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be a burden. But I was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to try new food. I tried oysters on that trip. Not really something I need to have again. So yes to foods, yes to travel, yes to going out and doing whatever he wants to do. And I haven't seen miraculous recovery, but I can see small things. I play Pokemon Go. I don't know how many of you guys have played it. It is not really a one-hand friendly kind of game because you have to walk and look at your screen. Well, I need to walk and hold my cane in public. But I was playing on Sunday when I went for my walk because I bought myself a Fitbit that I wear every day. My goal step for the day is 4,000 steps. I hit that most days. Like some days I don't. Like I've only done 100 steps today. That's because I'm recovering from the holidays in bed, just relaxing. But when I went out Sunday night and I walked because I didn't hit my goal, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go and walk because we were at Dave & Buster's. For those of you who don't know, that's like an adult Chuck E. Cheese, only more expensive. I knew sensory overload would be difficult for me. So I'm like, I'm going to go walk outside and get my steps in. You guys play. You and the kids play. Have fun. My Pokemon Go actually stopped and said, you're moving too fast. Are you a passenger? That should never happen when I walk. I don't move that fast, but obviously my pace is picking up. I'm seeing those improvements. I'm moving faster. I'm doing, my stamina's better. So, first time to New York City, my husband surprised me with that. First time to DC this year. First time up to Washington State. Or last year, because now we're in the new year. I encourage everybody, if you're recovering, to find ways. I'm trying to do a girls trip this year that's just like me and some friends, whether it be mostly normal friends or stroke friends, just empowering people to go out and do things that they may not think is easy. My cousins are probably going to hate this, but my Fitbit helped encourage 2 of my cousins to get a Fitbit. Now, they're mostly healthy people. I mean, I don't really know about their health, if they have any health issues, period. But I felt good because I lose to everybody with my Fitbit. Everybody beats me every day, every challenge, and I'm good with that because I'm still challenging myself to be more engaged, more involved, and I'll tell you what, the 5 Christmases and New Year's that I've had since my stroke, I have been exhausted halfway through the season. We have a party every weekend, and this last year was the first year I've made every event, on top of adding a couple events to that. So I made every event. I made it up till midnight on New Year's Eve and said Happy New Year to all the kids, and proud moments. I'm telling you, this gets better. It's not going to be depressing days and why can't I do this every day. It's going to get better.